everyone, I'm Meg. Welcome to my kitchen. I'm a classically trained pastry chef, a wife, and a mom of two. I've worked in famous bakeries, Italian truffle sales, and in the wine world. Like you, I'm super busy with my job, my husband, and my girls, so I like to make cooking as fun and easy as possible. Here, I'm going to teach you how to bake and cook without a fancy degree. We'll pair wine with meals, good coffee with cakes, and everything in between. So grab a cup of coffee, pour a glass of wine, or sip on your favorite beverage, and I'll meet you in the kitchen. Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to make a cannellini bean and chicken sausage soup that is perfect for cold weather because right now it's freezing outside. It's also great to feed a family for a few days. For my family of 4, this lasts for 2 nights. Also, if you want to double it, it will last even longer and you can freeze it as well and it comes back to life perfectly with the addition of just a little bit of chicken stock. It's just a great staple and super healthy and also super cozy for this cold weather. I'm gonna pair this soup with a really nice Pinot Grigio. It's not your mother's Pinot Grigio, it's a little bit fancier, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, but it's gonna pair perfectly with this soup. So let's get started. So we're gonna start by chopping a large onion. I'm gonna use half of a large onion. I really like Vidalia, they're so sweet. And as they get cooked down, they just get even sweeter. If you prefer a white onion, that's totally fine too, but half of a large onion and 2 cloves of garlic. I always like to use my Dutch oven for this. If you have a large pot, that's totally fine too, but I just love the Dutch oven. So let's go ahead and start chopping. So I'm gonna dice this into small squares. It cooks faster that way, and then it gets nice and integrated into the soup as well. So I went to culinary school for pastry, so we never really did knife skills. And I just remember the kids from upstairs from the culinary department always used to make fun of the pastry kids for their knife skills. And still to this day, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little insecure about it. But honestly, it doesn't really matter, does it? This is at home cooking. I'm not cooking in a Michelin star restaurant. I think they look pretty good, okay? Don't come for me, culinary students. Now I'm gonna crush 2 cloves of garlic. So the trick to getting the skin off the garlic is you take the flat bit of the knife and you just put your palm on it, squish it down, and it comes right off. It's such an easy trick. I wish I had known that earlier on in my life instead of fighting with the garlic. See, nice and clean. And then I just use a normal garlic press for these two. Squish them right on in there. And then I'm going to take extra virgin olive oil, and I do this by eye, but it's probably about 2 tablespoons that I nicely coat the onions and the garlic, just like that. And we're going to go put this on the stovetop until those onions become a little translucent and everything gets a little bit soft. Okay, now for the messy part. We are going to take out of its casing 1 pound of chicken sausage. So I got this one from Wegmans. It's spinach and feta. You can get whatever chicken sausage you like, just 1 pound, and you take it out of its casing. So I just kind of squeeze gently, and it's kind of gross, but it comes right out. And you take the whole thing and just squeeze gently and pull as you're going. All right, and that's the last of it. So gross job done. But now we'll be able to make this chicken sausage into a nice crumbly sausage that will just fall apart and then incorporate really nicely into the soup. So Once those onions and garlic are fully translucent and cooked through, we're gonna go ahead and add the chicken sausage right to the Dutch oven. So now that we have everything cooking in the Dutch oven, we can go ahead and zest and juice our lemon. So I find that the juice of the lemon I love in the soup, but the zest gives it this extra lift that makes it so special. So I'm gonna zest about half of this lemon, and then we'll also use half the lemon worth of juice. I use a microplane for this, but you can use anything similar that you have. I just like how fine the microplane makes the lemon zest, because then it gets like really nice and mixed into the soup. So that's perfect. That's half the lemon zest, and I used a large lemon for that, but that's plenty for the soup. And then you just put that into a little bowl and set it aside for later. And then I did roll my lemon first, but that's a really good tip. If you have a lemon, especially that's not quite ready yet and you want it to get nice and juicy, just give it a good little roll first. And then juice of about half of a lemon. Perfect. So we'll use the lemon juice to deglaze the pan once the chicken sausage and onion garlic mixture is done cooking, and then we'll throw the zest in right after. Now that we've got the lemon done, let's go check on the sausage. Deglazing time. Now our lemon zest. I have here 2 cans of rinsed and drained cannellini beans that we're gonna go toss with the chicken sausage that already has the lemon juice and the lemon zest in it, and 4 cups or 32 ounces, your favorite chicken broth. So this whole box. That's some nice chicken stock. Once we let the soup come up to a boil, we're gonna add about 5 ounces of kale. I have Tuscan kale here because I like the texture. And then as for seasoning, I use a chicken bouillon cube. I know it's going into chicken broth, but this to me is the perfect amount of salt. If you wanna add a little more salt to taste after, go for it. But I think this gives so much depth to the soup. And it's like a little trick that I use for many different things, but I love it in this soup. So 1 full chicken bouillon. And then I don't measure any of my seasoning out, but I'll tell you what I put in. I do fresh cracked black pepper. I do a little bit of parsley, a handful of rosemary, a handful, a palmful, handful, a little palmful of rosemary because I just love rosemary in this soup. I will use a tiny bit of Italian seasoning, but I'm not a huge fan of oregano in this, so I will use this very sparingly. So the soup is done as is. You can just let it cook for like 10 minutes on low so that it all kind of comes together. I have a family who is obsessed with pasta, so I do add a half a cup of Ditalini to this. I'll cover that and let it go for about 10 minutes until my pasta is al dente. I did separate out some of this because my best friend is gluten-free. So great gluten-free meal, obviously without the pasta. So it's kind of fitting for anybody. So I've got the soup boiling with the Ditalini. Now let's talk about the wine pairing. So I have one of my absolute favorite Pinot Grigios here with me. It's called Jermann. It is not a typical Italian name. I do realize Jermann. That's because they're in northeast Italy in a region called Friuli, and it borders Austria as well as Slovenia. So that area has been back and forth between the regions so many times. So Jermann is probably more of a Slovenian name, but in this day and age, they are an Italian family through and through, making wine up there. They do mostly white varietals, and they are gorgeous wines. So this Pinot Grigio is really impressive, especially in comparison to other Pinot Grigios. Most of the time we think of Pinot Grigio as maybe a little boring or a watery wine. This is none of those things. These get this richer style, bigger body, and that citrus comes through in such a beautiful way that it's going to really play up on the lemon that we put into that soup, and it's going to be the perfect pairing. It's full, it's rich, the acidity is so bright. I love this Pinot Grigio, and I think everyone you serve it to will love it too. So definitely go find this Pinot Grigio. I think you're gonna love it. So I just poured my soup into a bowl, and it looks so delicious. I'm very excited. It smells amazing in this house. And I top mine with a little bit of grated Parmesan. And then I like hot pepper, so I do a little bit of hot pepper chips and then some fresh cracked pepper. How good does that look? This is the perfect cold weather, cozy meal. It's also so healthy and protein packed. So you're feeding your family a delicious meal, but also the healthiest thing ever. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh my God. So good. The lemon really comes through. It's delicious. It's so perfect. I can't wait for you to try this. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you next time.